Alrighty, good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're getting started with our KW Connect overview here right now. Excuse me. Before we get started, it looks like Leon Wooden actually wants to do a little bit of a head count for the Washington Township Market Center. So if you'll look up near the top of the screen here, you should have the same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of censor that looks like a speech bubble icon, that's going to open up the chat window here. That's where Leon has asked if anyone is there from Washington Township. Looks like we have 7 people in here, and I think one of those counts as me, so that's probably 5 other people that could potentially be from there. So if you'll let Leon know there in the chat window, that'd be great. That's also where you're going to send me questions. If there's anything that you need more explanation on, anything that I accidentally skipped, anything you want to know more about, definitely send me those questions there in that chat window as we go on. This class is recorded along with all of our other advanced training classes at slmtraining.com. So S as in Scott, L as in Leroy, M as in marketing, training.com. And I should hopefully have that recording up there within just a couple of hours. At the latest, it should be tomorrow, but probably today. And then also there is the option of calling in on your phone to listen. If you're not able to get your computer speakers working, you do have the option, or if you just want to call in on the phone, you can call in with that number. It's been by a couple of times on the screen, but I did just send it to you guys there in the chat window as well. So let's get this minimized here and switch over to our MyKW homepage. To access KW Connect, the easiest way that we found is through MyKW. You can go directly to kwconnect.com and log in that way, but we've seen several issues over a very long period of time where trying to log into KW Connect by going directly to the site is causing some issues. So the easiest way we found is first to get logged into mykw.kw.com. Once you're on your MyKW homepage, up in the very top black menu, you just click on Education, and that'll take you into KW Connect automatically logged in. Where it takes us by default is this Keller Williams University page, KWU. We will get here eventually, but for the time being, let's just click on the KW Connect logo up here in the top left to go to the home page. That's where we'll start, and then we'll just cover an overview of everything as we go from here. If you'll look down at the very bottom right, I've got this big red button that says Accept Cookies. You do have to click that button every single time you come into KW Connect. It's a GDPR law from Europe, so you have to click that button to make it go away. If you're fine with it, you can just leave it, but I like to dismiss it, so I just click the button there. So starting up at the top, anytime you click on that KW Connect logo, it'll take you back here to the home page. So if you get lost, you don't know how you got to where you got, you can just click on this logo here and it'll take you back to this page and you can start over. Coming over from that, we've got our menu here. We will be going over each of these individually after we cover the home page. So don't get too hung up on that just yet. We will go into those one by one. To the right of that, we've got a couple of buttons here. We've got this little magnifying glass icon. Magnifying glass 100% of the time across the entire internet and most computer systems everywhere is going to mean search. Anytime you see a magnifying glass, that means you're going to be searching. So if you click on this magnifying glass, it's going to replace that menu with a search bar. And that'll show on every single page everywhere. Here on the home page, we have an additional search bar underneath the menu, and you can use either one of these from the home page, but if you're anywhere but the home page, you won't have this option. Instead, you'd need to use the magnifying glass up here. Next to that, we've got the upload button. This is where you can share your own content here in KW Connect for other KW associates to see. That's things like your videos, your presentation templates, your script templates, things like that you want to share with other agents to help them build their business. And then also over on the right, we've got your little profile link here. I don't know why it's asking me to log in, but I'll click on that and it should just take me to my profile, I guess, whenever it loads. There we go, we're on Scott's profile here. So let's click on that KW Connect logo to go back to the home page. There we go. If you hover over your picture, there's several options here. We are going to be working with the profile. The rest of this is not really anything we're going to cover. You can just poke around in those. Underneath the menu, like I said, we've got that search bar, and you can search all of KW Connect here, and we'll be going over more specifically what search looks like and how to use it and things like that in a little bit. Under that, we've got these kind of banner ads that KW International is showing here on the homepage. So there's a new local expert tools. There's, it looks like a class out of family reunion. There's the performance report for Q1. So if you want to learn more about any of the things that are going on here, you can click on any of those banners and it will take you to the respective page here in KW Connect. Under that, this is what everybody is concerned about pretty much when they come into KW Connect, is the latest in technology or latest in labs. This is what's going on with Kelly and Command. That's what everybody wants to know about. So if you want the newest from KW International, this is where you're going to find that. So we've got a tech talk from labs. It actually says tomorrow, but it looks like it was uploaded today. I don't know what's going on with that date. And then we've got another latest in labs, another latest in labs. So if you want the most recent information about what's going on there, check out these videos here. Under that, we've got some featured videos. These are going to be from KW International by default. I don't know how they choose these, whether it's just the newest or the most popular, but these are from KW International by default, and it is videos by default. You can also see all types of content from KW International, audio files, files like spreadsheets and documents and PDFs and things like that, and then links to sources outside of KW Connect. You can switch between those here on the home page. Now, when you choose something besides video, it's going to show content from both KW International and KW Associates. By default, videos is just going to be KW International. That's why it's this red circle here. If I unclick this, it's going to show me. Actually, won't let me unclick it. What I can do is click this silhouette right here of a person, and this is going to show just stuff from KW Associates, not from KW International. And you can go back and forth between those here on the home page. And then in search, you can actually do both. You can show content from KW International and KW Associates. Coming down the page past those featured videos here, we've got Connect Live. So this is when the latest live webinars are going to be happening. It looks like there's one on May 8th. That's today from 11 to 12. So it looks like that probably just finished. I think that's Central Time here. So they probably just finished or they're finishing up. So you can probably get that recording. It'll be here on KW Connect soon. Got a latest in labs on, what is that, Friday, and then How Billionaires Set Goals. That's today from 3 to 4 Central, I believe. Coming under that, we've got upcoming courses from the KW Connect calendar. This is pulling events from all KW offices across North America. So if you want to get into lead generation 3623, this is showing when those are starting. There's also Ignite here, and you can view the full calendar over here at My Calendar. We will be going into more detail about the calendar in a little bit. And then lastly, down here at the bottom, we've got trending searches. So this is the most popular things searched for in KW Connect, recommendations from KW International, and then a spotlight video chosen by KW International. Coming way, way back up to the top, let's hover over, we're going to come back to the menu. Let's go over here on the far right and hover over either your picture or your initials here and click on My Profile. This profile is the one that other agents see when they're searching for you in the referral system, either in Kelly or in KW Command or here on Connect. You can access the referral system in any of those three places. If you want to learn more about working with referrals, we do have separate classes for that. We do cover that a little bit in the Kelly class, and we also cover that in the KW Command class, because that's where I believe that KW International is wanting everybody to work with referrals through, because it's going to connect to Command. So, but to edit that profile that other agents see, this is where you would do that. Starting at the top here, we've got this banner image, very similar to what's on Facebook or Twitter. This does need to be specific dimensions that we'll talk about in just a minute. Over here, we've got your picture in the circle here, and you can click on Change Photo to change that. You'd also be editing the entirety of the rest of your profile as well when you click on that link. Scrolling down here, we've got your About Me, this biography. You can update this as well when you click on Edit My Profile or on Change Photo here. Under that, we've got some statistics here. This is supposed to be able to be turned on and off individual parts of this here, but from what we've seen, that's not actually working correctly, so you would actually need to contact KW International Support for more help with that. Under that, we've got memberships here. This is divisions of KW that you or whoever you're looking at are a member of. So Scott's a member of commercial here. You'd also see things like luxury, farm and ranch, land, international property specialists, things like that would show up here as well. And then in the service area here, this is something that you can change out as well when we go edit my profile. So let's do that. Let's click on edit my profile right here, this big red link. Starting at the top, upload photo. This is your picture that shows in that circle up here. I didn't mean to click that. Up here, and then also on the profile on the left. Here for banner image, let's hover over this little eye icon right here. It says required dimensions, width 1920 pixels and height 313 pixels. It does need to be exactly those numbers. It cannot be 1921 wide, and it cannot be 312 tall. It must be exactly these numbers, wide and tall. And if you need help to learn how to resize your image, your banner image there that goes behind your profile picture, we do have a class that shows exactly how to do that. I just shared that in the chat window there. Now, about these messages I'm sending in the chat window, we do only have just a couple of them that I send you. But if you want to have these links and notes that I'm sending out, you can definitely contact us via email at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can send you those notes. Under that, email is self-explanatory. This is going to be your email address, your business phone number here, your mobile phone number, your service area. Now this is supposed to be where you are specialized. This is not your entire coverage area. This is where you work the most in and where you have the most knowledge of. This is not client facing. Other people outside of KW are not going to be seeing this profile, and they're not going to be seeing this service area. This is only internal for other KW agents to see when they're looking for an agent to send referrals to. So in my mind, if I see 12 service areas listed here, those are not service areas, those are not specialties. I'm not going to send my referral to this agent. They're just fishing for business across their entire coverage area. Instead, if they list 1, 2, maybe 3 things here, I can tell, okay, this is probably where they actually know the most information about, so that I'd feel more confident about sending this referral to this agent. So you can make this as long as you want, but recommendation is to specify 2, maybe 3 areas that you actually know a lot about to work in. Under that, this biography is again 100% internal. Only other KW agents are going to see this. So this is, it can be the same biography you use on your public client-facing profiles, or you can change it, tailor it to specifically be for why you would be a good agent to send a referral to in your area. Under that, we've got a Facebook link, Twitter link, YouTube link, LinkedIn link, Google Plus link. These do need to be the full http:// blah, blah, blah. The entire link needs to go in these boxes. And if you need to know how to find these links the correct way, we do have a class specifically for that as well. And I sent you guys that link there in the chat window also. Underneath that, we've got custom tags. This is where you're telling KW Connect and people searching on KW Connect what types of things the content that you upload to KW Connect are about. So the videos and the scripts and the documents and the things that you share in KW Connect are typically, are typically going to be such and such that you put here in the custom tags. So this is, again, one more time, not client facing. No clients are seeing this. This is not where you're going to do like short sales or investments or things like that, unless you actually share information about those things for other agents. This is where, say you're a buyer's agent. You would want to share things like buyer scripts or buyer appointment or door knocking or things like that, versus you wouldn't put a tag here for seller script or FSBO script, because you're not going to be sharing that type of information because that's not your area of expertise. So you want this to be accurate as well, just like that service area, because if someone searches for seller script and they find your content and you're a buyer agent, that's going to be disappointing because your content doesn't have anything to do with sellers. Under that, we've got primary market center. This only applies if you're a member of more than one market center. If you're just a member of one market center, you'll only have one option here, nothing to change here. But if you are in multiple market centers, you would choose that to show on your profile as your primary market center, the one you work out of most often. Under that, for email frequency, this is choosing how often you're going to get notifications about your content and your profile and your referrals here in KW Connect. You can't turn these off completely. You can only choose, I get one for every time something happens. I get an email every day with a summary of what happened that day, or an email every week with a summary of what happened that week. Under that, for these profile display options, you remember those statistics that were going left and right that I told you there were some issues with? This is what I'm talking about. Only one of those should have been showing. The rest of them are off here, but it was still showing all of them. So if you're having that issue, contact KW International Support. They're going to be the ones to help you with that. And then very lastly, we've got this update button down at the bottom. Also at the very top, any changes you make, you have to click that update button to apply them to your profile. Okay. Coming up to the top menu, let's hover over memberships here. We cannot click on memberships, that's not a link itself, but under that you can see what memberships, what divisions of KW you're a member of currently. That's under my memberships, so like commercial, farm and ranch, luxury, those kinds of things. And then there's explore memberships where you get more information about how to join those different divisions. KW Young Professionals, you know, all that stuff. Here at calendar, let's click on that. We're going to spend a good bit of time here. The calendar, like I said, pulls events from all market centers across North America. So US and Canada basically, and I believe Hawaii and Alaska. So this is going to show events from all across the company, and it's going to take a minute to load those because it is a lot of events. Either that or I've got my filter set too narrow. So speaking of filters, let's come up here to advanced filter, this red link on the left above the date, or excuse me, above the month. So it looks like I've got it filtered down to My Market Center Ignite classes. It looks like there aren't any going on this month at the current Market Center. So let's undo that and just go to all MC events instead and apply filter, and you'll see what I'm talking about is as far as there are a lot of events. There we go. So all these green things here, each one of those is an event. There are 100+ events most days. And again, this is pulling from across all of KW in North America. So let's click on filter here again, just to filter that down just a little bit. We have some options here for what types of events or whose events these are going to be. So is this going to be at KW International in Austin? Is this going to be hosted by my region, by any market center in my region, by my market center specifically? All market centers across KW, or commercial events, or I guess if you have other memberships, those will show up over here as well. I'm going to filter this by, actually, you know what, I'm going to leave all MC events. You can skip the filter by owner. You're not going to be adding your own events here to the calendar. You can filter by event type. The most common type is going to be class, of course, but you can also do team meeting, or leadership consultation, all those things. Most of the time, they're not going to be categorized correctly, so class is basically going to bring everything up. Here, if you select a class, you can filter it by the name of a class. So let's do 30, 60, 90. Let's see when the next one comes up. You can also filter it by whether it's online or in person. I'm going to leave those unchecked and just do apply filter. So it looks like there's a 30, 60, 90. There was one on last Tuesday. Actually, if I click on this, you will get more information about that. Looks like this is in Exton, Pennsylvania. So if you're around there, you could have gotten started. Well, that's a round table. I meant to do the 30, 60, 90. This is in, where is this? Scottsdale. So if you're in Scottsdale, you could have gone to that. They've got their fees there and everything. Now, once you're in an individual event, over on the right, you can click on Register Now. What this is going to do is take you to where you can get tickets for this. It looks like they put the link in there. So this looks like, yeah, Eventbrite there. There's also, depending on the type of class it is, if we go all the way back to the calendar, let's filter this down to be just Ignite. Let's do all regional events. Apply that filter. Okay, well, let's just do all market center events then. I just wanted it to load a little bit faster. There we go. So if I click on any of these Ignite sessions here, you can also click on Attend over on the right. That's going to add it to your calendar here in KW Connect, as well as notify the Market Center that you're interested in attending that class as well. So if your Market Center is tracking attendance, this is how that would be done the most efficient way here. All right, moving on over here to resources. This is another one we can't click on, but it's got a lot of items under it. Connect Live is what I covered on the homepage there. That's the live classes that are being hosted here in KW Connect. You can see when the next ones are, and I believe you can actually even watch recordings of previous ones here on this page. Welcome New Associates is going to be resources for brand new agents, things like logos and learning about your technology and the app and everything there. Culture is how you as a KW associate and KW International as a company relate to people and interact with people. Or at least that's my definition of it. It's things like the Y4C2Ts and the MVVBP and all the funny acronyms there that talk about vision, values, what is that? Y4C2Ts. Win-win, integrity, all those things. That's how you and KW International are supposed to be treating each other, agents across the deal, your community, your clients, things like that. If you want to learn more about how to treat people the way that KW International wants you to, you would find that there on the culture page. Events is going to be the big ones like Mega Camp and Family Reunion and ASC retreats and things going on at KW International. Those are going to be here on events. Industry is how KW International is affecting the industry on your behalf and how you guys as associates are basically taking over the industry. So you can get information about like what Inman Select is saying about KW and stats and things like that. Under that, we've got Keller Mortgage. If you want to learn more about getting started with Keller Mortgage and providing that to your clients, that would be found there. We are going to click on KWU. This is where you're going to find all the classes and resources and worksheets and links and videos and all those things there. If you click on courses, it's going to list all of the classes that KW International provides. So Ignite, Lead Gen 363, I don't even remember what the number is, 306090, the 411, and all those things are going to be listed here. Specifically, Ignite is listed right here on the KWU page because that is the most popular class. So you can go directly to Ignite here. Leverage, Shift, curriculum paths for agents and for leadership, KWU on demand, so live streams, recorded live streams, and then lunch and learns and faculty. So let's click on courses to go see that full list of all classes that KW International provides here. And it's a pretty big list. There's probably 60 or 70 or maybe 100 different classes here. Some are more popular than others, and you can actually filter by that up here, order by most popular, and of course Ignite's going to be at the top of the list here. It's going to be the most viewed one. Under that, we've got the eEdge database, quick start workshop, career visioning, 36123, that's what I was looking for, 306090, all that stuff. Also, if you do alphabetical, you'll be able to see Ignite here on the third line. So if you click on any of these classes here, let's click on career visioning here. You can get more information about that class. It'll also show you, what is this? There we go. It'll also show you over here on the right the next time it's starting. Looks like it's going to be in September. So if I click on this link here, it's going to take me to that particular event, and it's going to be in Minneapolis is when they're going to be doing career visioning. So you can get information about that there. Also within that events page, you can come over to materials here, and if there's any worksheets or links to videos or things like that, you can find those right here. E-learning is supposed to be videos basically about the class, but most classes don't actually have them. And you've got your reviews about the class and things like that. Okay, back up here in resources, MAPS coaching. This is where you can get into coaching programs through MAPS, so individual, group, mastery, things like that. Marketing, let's click on that here. This is where you're going to find like logos and branding, template for a listing presentation. This is one of two places that KW provides one. One is right here. The other one is in eEdge. There's a pre-filled template in eEdge that you can use as well. So a lot of people ask us, where can I find a listing presentation template? Right here. And it's I believe it's a PowerPoint that you can download and edit and then print out. You can get Red Label clothing, the Outfront KW magazine, press release templates, social media, links and templates and tips and tricks and things, and then stuff for leadership. Let's go ahead and click on logos and branding right here. And on this page, the first thing you'll see here is the identity and style guide. This outlines how you are and are not allowed to use the KW logo and KW brand. It's got information about colors and sizes and fonts and things like that. So that is going to be basically your Bible for how to brand yourself as a KW agent. It talks about signs and business cards and websites and flyers and things like that. So it's got really detailed stuff about all of that. So if you want to avoid issues with the way that you use the KW logo, it's all right there in the style guide. Coming down the page a little bit further, we've got this Market Center logos section. If you want to get your Market Center's specific logo, the majority of Market Centers do have one here. So if I search for like 196 here, that's the Market Center in Pensacola that I'm originally from. I can click on download and get a zip file of a couple of dozen different versions of the KW logo in different formats. And I can use those for whatever they need to be used for. Excuse me. If I search for Gulf Coast, I can also get that same link right there. So you can search for your Market Center's name or number. Now, say you're searching for a Market Center that's not listed here. So let's search for, I forget one of the ones that we don't have a logo for here. Midland, it looks like. Nope, it's there. We just haven't downloaded it. Okay, so there is no logo in here for Mobile, Alabama. Not a big deal. You can actually have your Market Center contact KW Red Label at kw.com, and they can actually add a logo here to this section. Oops, I don't know how quickly that happens, but it can be added there, and you can download that later once it is added. And then down here are some plain KW logos that you can download instead of your Market Center specific logo. Okay. Coming back up to the very top under resources again, MCAs is, guessing there's not a lot of MCAs on this class, but if you need information about WinMore and Account Edge and MC Angel and things like that, that'll be found here under MCAs. In fact, most agents probably won't even see this. I think that's a leadership thing. Technology is again going to be information about the app, commands, Kelly, eEdge, website, Playstore, things like that. Leverage, when you hear leverage in KW International, think hiring. Leverage equals hiring when KW International says it. So this is where you're going to get into career visioning, information about how to hire the best people for your team. There's a video, there's a book for that, there's a class for that, and it's a very prescribed step-by-step way to hire the best people for your team rather than just posting something to Indeed or something and just hiring, every Joe Schmo that comes along. This is very specific way to get you the best person to fill the role that you need in your team. And it's very provenly effective. If you don't follow the career visioning, you only have yourself to blame really for if things go wrong. Under that, we've got profit share there. If you want more information about profit share, talk to your team leader. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but it's basically the way that KW International rewards associates for helping grow the company, and your team leader can tell you more about that. Up here, we've got Ask Agents. This is a forum for asking agents, how do I do this? What's the best way to go about this? Do you have any tips on this? Somebody's asking for what is the best CRM. They're probably going to throw out eEdge, Commands, Buffini, Top Producer, things like that. And if you have something to say about what the best CRM is, you can share that. Or if you're curious about what other agents think that is, you can check that out as well. Somebody needs help with a yard sign. Now, what it has devolved into, unfortunately, is people posting basically want ads. They're posting want a referral in such and such area, or want this, or I've got this listing, come show it, come see it, all that stuff. So that's not what this is supposed to be. If you guys would help call that out and instead only post helpful things that you'd like to learn about or share with other agents, that's what this is supposed to be for. Instead, if you want to find an agent to send a referral to, there's a way to do that, to broadcast it to multiple agents in an area through the referrals section. And you can check out that class in slmtraining.com. This right here, Ask Agents, is not the place to do that. Up under technology, we've got Tech-Enabled Agent. If we'll click on that. And this is how KW International is helping to build, the technology systems that are helping us basically take over the real estate market. Under that, we've got Keller Cloud, which I don't know how that's going to be much different from this page. There we go, information about Commands, the new version of the consumer app that's coming soon, KW Connect, Kelly, all that stuff. Labs dashboard, videos. This is going to be training videos about how to use all those things. There we go, updates from Gary Keller and Josh Team. Josh Team is basically in charge of the development team for Command and Kelly. Labs dashboard. If you're a member of Labs, you can see information about that right here. Join the Labs community. Technology.kw.com. Where's that going to go? That's new. Future-proof your business. So that's more information about the same stuff. So there's a lot of places where you get the same information in more than one spot. I can tell you what answers.kw.com is. It's KW International's knowledge base. So it's a frequently asked questions, basically. So you can search for, KW email. It'll bring up how to create your KW email, how to change your email password, how to connect your email to Outlook, things like that. And then ideas.kw.com is where you can share or vote on things you want to see in KW Connect or Command or Kelly. Or WinMore and all of that. So right now, the most popular one here is add a custom lead source. Right now, it looks like you're only choosing from a drop-down. People also want to be able to see more than 50 at a time on the command contact page, and it looks like that's being worked on currently, so that should be out soon. So that sounds fun. So what you can do is you can vote on, actually I already voted on that. You can vote to say, hey, yeah, I want to see this too. Or you can post your own here and other people can vote on that as well. Typically, you just want to search for whether somebody has already posted your idea, because odds are a couple of dozen people already have, rather than posting your idea all over again. So if it's not something you're able to find here, you can definitely post that and people can vote about it. Okay, coming back to Connect. We've got referrals here. We're not going to cover referrals in this class. We're actually covering that in another class that's going to be on referrals, groups, and chat. That's inside KW Command. We're going to be doing that on the 29th. It looks like we do that the last Wednesday of the month. So check us out at this same time on that Wednesday, the 29th, and then we'll also be recording that just like all of our other classes. And then growth here is you're only going to be able to see as an agent the career growth initiative, I believe, except maybe you might be able to see expansion as well. If you want more information about the career growth initiative, what it basically is, this is going to be kind of a long summary. In, I think it was 2007 or 2011, I always forget which, my brain has a little bit of dyscalculia going on. But several years ago, KW International introduced a new program to help build the company into the #1 real estate company in the country that it is today. And it was called the Growth Initiative. And it was a prescribed way that team leaders were supposed to be recruiting and bringing agents into the market center. It had a prescription for the number of appointments team leaders were supposed to go on, how many of those were supposed to actually join the market center, how many they were supposed to actually keep. It provided scripts and pipeline tools and spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff for the team leaders to use. And it has proven itself to work. That's how KW International became the #1 agent count company a couple of years ago. We've been #1 in agent count for a number of years. I think it's 4 or 5 years now. So through that, KW International has grown. It's proven, there's no doubt about it, it works. So what happened is KW International translated the growth initiative for team leaders to build the company into the career growth initiative for individual agents to build their own business. It again has scripts, it has a calculator, it has tools, it has prescriptions for the number of things you're supposed to do in a certain amount of time, and it works as well. That's again how it has proven itself to through KW becoming the #1 in production and units. We're #1 in agent count, volume, and units because of these two things, the growth initiative and the career growth initiative. So it does work if you do it, if you actually do what you're supposed to through these things here. So if you want more information about that, check with your market center leadership. They can help you get started with that. And then for expansion, that's for basically if you're already a big deal agent and got a lot of money, you want to open your own market center or open another team in an additional market center, that's how you get started with that as well. Okay, let's go up and search for something. I'm going to open up the chat here, or it's been open, but if you look into the chat, you should have these same 5 buttons at the top of the screen as I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center, here in the chat window, would you send me something that you want to search for here in KW Connect? You know, we do things like FSBO scripts or templates or things like that. So go ahead and send those to me in the chat. I'd love to search for something that you guys are actually wanting to learn about. All right, it looks like we're not getting any suggestions. I'll leave this open here just for you guys to know that I am still waiting for that. I'll just go ahead and search for what somebody suggested in the last class. We're going to search for, I need lead generation, but you say that's another class. Could you elaborate on that, Leon? When you say lead generation, are you talking about that lead generation 3612.3? Because that's a KW International class, and that's going to be several days of tips and tricks and what are they called? Prescriptions and scripts and all of that stuff about lead generation. Okay, so Leon, I do want to let you know, we here teach technology. We're not going to teach you how to be an agent. We're not going to teach you how to get business. We're not going to teach you which contracts to use. We're not going to teach you how to fill things out. We're not going to teach you what's required when you get a buyer or a seller. That's not what you learn from us. All of that stuff is going to come from your market center. They have classes like Ignite, and they have contract classes and things like that. That's where you're going to get that information. Here, we teach you how to use the technology that KW provides to do those things once you're starting to do those things. So if you need to know how to store a contact in your database once you've got a contact, we can teach you that. If you want to learn how to put your contact that you've already got on a campaign, we can teach you that. But how to get those contacts, how to get clients, how to get leads, that's not what we're here for. So I have viewer 10 says they want scripts. Do you want buyer scripts, seller scripts, FSBO scripts? Could you specify that? Buyer scripts. Okay, so let's search for buyer script. So on the search results page here, I'm going to move this up out of the way here. If we scroll down a little bit, by default, what it's going to show is all types of content. So the first thing it's going to do is show courses from KW International. So this is going to be mastering your KW mobile app in a workshop, and mobile app is typically for buyers. So this is going to have probably scripts to use to share your app with buyers. Under that, this is going to be newest first. So this is the most recent posts that have things to do with what you searched for. Typically, that's not really what you're going to want to see when you're searching for something. So instead, under order by here, we probably want to change this either to relevance. So explaining and filling out the TREC. That's, so there's a script there for filling out the TREC in Texas. Here's a script here for setting an appointment for a buyer consultation from KW International. Here's a buyer lead sheet, 3 ways to market buyers to sellers. So if you've got a buyer, you want to connect them with the seller. So that is relevance. And then there's also changing it to most popular, which is going to be almost synonymous with highest rated. Actually, apparently not. So let's look at this highest rated here. So seller objection, that's a seller. We searched for buyer script. This is another person who has mistagged their profile. That's not going to be what we're looking for. It looks like it's actually just pulling script. So let's instead do most popular here. So here is from KW International, how to use scripts in a general sense. Got a buyer's consultation. Let's see, learn the steps Mega Agent Nikki Ubaldini follows to get a buyer service agreement signed. So that's from KW International here. Creating urgency with your buyer, doing a needs analysis with your buyer. So more than likely when you're searching for something, you're going to want to choose either relevance, highest rated, or most popular. If you want to see fresh stuff about what you're searching for, definitely do newest first. I don't know why alphabetical is even on here. Oldest first might be something you want to look at, see what the first person said about whatever it is you're searching for. Do we have anything else we wanted to search for? Another one that we get a lot in this class is like a listing presentation. So again, it's going to default to newest first. So this is going to be the most recent. Looks like this William Gombox updated his listing presentation. There we go, CMA. Let's do that. Let's try just CMA if that pulls anything up. We may need to spell it out, do comparative market analysis. Here we go. Here's a guide to help make adjustments for CMAs. And this is, again, by default, going to be newest first. Every time you search for something, you're going to need to change that to highest rated, most popular, something like that. Let's do popular here. Creating a CMA in Matrix. If your MLS system uses Matrix versus, what is the other one? Paragon, and I believe there's one more, Flex, are the 3 big ones that I've heard of. If your MLS uses the Matrix system, you can create a CMA in there. Got 4 CMA requests with this door knocking script. Let's try change that to highest rated, see what we get. How we stringent now, creating a CMA. So if you're not seeing what you're searching for, and there are additional pages here, if you're not seeing what you're searching for and you have an idea for that, probably a great idea would be to upload up here at the top here your CMA template or your instructions for how to create a CMA, or using, you know, whatever system you use to create a CMA. Say you've got Cloud CMA through your MLS or through, I believe it's Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, or if you've learned how to do that in eEdge, or if you've got a separate template that you're using, you can definitely upload those instructions here to KW Connect to share with other agents. Since you're not finding what you're looking for, you can share what you do have with other agents, and other people can maybe improve upon that. That was a great excuse me, idea there. Now, one thing to cover here on the search results, again, by default, it's going to be all types. So that's going to be video, audio, documents, links, courses, and the rest of those don't really count. So if you want to filter that down, you can change it to just video. So Tim Hale, Listing Mastery, he's a mega agent, and he's talking about working with CMAs and pricing with your buyer. To do a price to sell from KW Young Professionals, build your business and ignite. This is from KW International again. And you can, like I said, show KW International and from other associates. You've also got audio. Audio is essentially just going to be from KW International. Nobody uploads audio files, just KW does. Users, I don't even know why this is a thing here. This is basically people with the letters C, M, and A in that order in their name. Go back here. I don't know why it changed it. Scroll down, yeah. You've got documents here. So this is going to be like templates and CMA sources, listing consultation, all that stuff. Links to external things outside of Connect here. So Matrix training videos for making a CMA, listing preparation using ZipForm, CMA in Paragon. So if your MLS uses the Paragon system, so that just leaves Flex, and I bet there is a Flex here somewhere. Courses that are provided by KWU that touch on CMA, pages here in KW Connect that talk about CMA, and then communities and vendors we're just going to skip. There's no point about that. What is communities? Yeah. Okay. I think I've covered pretty much everything I want to about search. Any more last minute requests for what you'd like to find here in Connect? Connect is a learning resource. This is where you're going to learn how to be an agent from other KW associates and from KW International. So if you, so let's touch on Leon here. Let's just try search for lead generation. So we're seeing all types here. We've got that class that I mentioned, the lead generation 3612.3, script catalog volume 3, Secrets for the Pros, featured scripts from just a couple of days ago. So it looks like this was a class here from Mega Agents. Let's see, if we go up here to most popular, create a system to secure listings here. The CGI is going to help you get leads and get listings. The Ignite Toolkit, going through Ignite, is going to get you those leads and listings. I'm sorry, Leon, I think I may have misunderstood your question when you first asked it. This is probably what you were asking about, searching for lead generation. Sorry about that. I misunderstood what you were asking. Internet lead generation. Let's do, what do we got? Highest rated. Change that here. Red Talks, becoming a world-class prospector. So this is a mega agent from Plymouth sharing how he became a great prospector. CGI kickoff call with John Davis. CGI is about getting leads, so you probably want to listen to John Davis. He's co-CEO of KW International, along with I forget the other guy's name, but he's anyway. Building your database. This is getting leads. Now this is kind of old. This is Gary several years ago talking about building his database with index cards, but the principles still apply. Okay, social media, that's a great way to get leads here. Capture leads with social media with Mega Agent Lisa Archer. So that's a great way to find lead generation tips and tricks and things like that. All right, it looks like we're not getting any questions, so I'll go ahead and shut it down. This is last chance if you do want to send one over. If you do think of something after the class or you're too shy to ask your question, definitely send those over via email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. That's going to do it for our KW Connect overview for today. This should be available at SLM Training in just a little bit. Everybody have a great day.